right?
That's
And so
reality.
that's the key is identifying, who you are as the business owner, right? Look at what you do every day and you ask yourself, okay, at different inflection points, at different levels of my business, what are some of the things that I could do to take off my list? Now, this is where it becomes challenging because you have to get it's sort of a release. You have to trust yourself to release it to someone, right? But
Mhm.
before you could get there, you have to identify the steps that it takes for you to do something. So if it takes you 10 steps to do this one thing, keeping in mind that the person you're bringing in is not going to,
Yeah.
they may have
Right.
some familiarity, but there's nuances as an individual. What
Yep.
nuances can you write down? Can you teach them to make it almost similar as your double in a sense, right?
Yeah.
And then those nuances you can use as trainable touch points over a period of time and write down those nuances and how that relates to any resources and the information that needs to be delivered because you still got to spend time with those individuals,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
And that's how you just keep doing. You show, you observe, and you shape the behavior of that individual. Now you get to manage the processes, which here's another issue. We manage the emotions of people, right?
Mhm.
And then we get into, well, I just do it myself, right? They're not
Yeah.
doing it. Let me just do it this,
Yeah, that's the
do it
classic
myself,
there.
right?
Nah, yeah.
Not recognizing that life happens. People have personal things going on. So when you're able to manage the process, you can identify where there's some gaps or some weaknesses, and you can focus on that step in the process to help strengthen it. And it'll allow you to trust yourself to see the person for who they are. That way you can identify are they intentional sabotagers. Then you gotta make a serious move. And then it's
Yeah.
not personal, it's business at that particular point. So these are things, as James was saying earlier, these are, yeah, the idea is go out there and make some money. Everybody got to make money. But what happens, especially with beginner's luck, you go out there and you make a whole lot of money really quickly. Now you get
Yeah.
overwhelmed, your bandwidth is beat up, your capacity is beat up, and now you're hiring from an emotional place because you don't want to lose the opportunities and revenues you have in place. You hire a bad person, they bad
Mhm.
personality, you don't know how to talk to them, you can't trust them, they're not self-sufficient, they're not
Mm.
self-starters.
Yeah. It's bad.
Conundrum. It's all bad.
Yeah. Man, it is all bad. And that I going off of that, it was something else you said earlier that the is from the book Good to Great with Jim Collins.
I love that book. It's right behind me too, by the way.
And yeah, I see it in red back there. Yeah. So the cover, but getting the right people on the bus and then putting them in the right seats. So when you hire, you I my philosophy is this, similar to what the gentleman told you. Um, if I interview somebody, I don't even ask them. I've had some of the wildest interviews where I've interviewed people because because I ask a question that I know they're not prepared for.
Hmm.
Because I'm not asking for regular questions because I'm not looking for regular people. So off top, what you've done before, all right, that's what got me to talk to you. But now my question is matching you off what I have going on. And we have a certain our team here. There's a certain quality, there's a certain character, there's a certain culture to it. And it's not about you being exactly like anybody here, but it's like, do you fit? Do you fit? Does your uniqueness fit here?
Hmm.
And it's not a heavy fit, it's not like this, this 10-point test to see. But some of it is, in case anybody out there ever wants to apply or it comes up. I mean, one of them is just being genuine. And so my question coming in for you, me, I always ask people what their story is. Like, what's your story? What you got going on? All right, because all the other stuff, I have to train you. So what you done before, I mean, yeah, it counts, but I know I got to train you. So now, but most importantly, what I have to do, I have to trust you, and I have to trust that who I'm talking to is who you gonna be, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
the gentleman was telling you. Like, yeah, you gonna you prepare for interviews. Either you gonna give me the interview all the way live. I know that, so I skipped that. I don't even I don't even care about none of that stuff. So give me a time. I could care, and I'm serious too. I really don't even care about that. What I want to know is, are you gonna do what you say you're gonna do, and are you going to do what is asked of you? That's it, and that's what I need to know off top. And all the other stuff, I mean, because we're gonna have to train you. Every job you go to, you're going to be trained. So
Mm-hmm.
if you had a job previously, I'm going to assume you're trainable. So, I did so and this, so and so and that. So 8 out of 10 times is not going to be the same as we do it here. So yeah, okay, that's cool. Like that's that. So I always like to get the feel of the person. And another thing, as you mentioned here, do you have the desire to learn? Do you have the desire to learn?
That's so key right there,
If
man.
you don't have the desire to learn, you can't be in. I mean, that's how that goes.
But
I mean,
you just gonna fail out in the world anyway.
yeah, because you're going
Because
for that.
learning is because it's this, especially in business as an owner, you're constantly trying to figure out how to move yourself out of the way.
Yeah.
And you got to learn from how others did it. All right. And
Yep.
so learning is the key. Talking to people, reading some stuff, take some courses, joining groups, spending some late hours writing down, strategizing tactics. I mean, all kind. So and it's a constant thing. You can't turn once you step foot in it. It doesn't really turn off. It either becomes your desire becomes stronger, or you become even more aggravated because you decide because you don't want to do it.
Yeah, you don't want to do it, so you walk away, and that's fine. So even as an employee, it's not so much, the level, but if I'm running something and I'm constantly educating myself and I'm sharing it, just throughout the organization, and you just like, well, I ain't changing. I'm not saying you got to go find the learning. I put the learning on you and you reject the learning. I mean, you can't be here.
Well, you can't teach that stuff anyway. You can't teach desire. You can't teach.
No.
You can't teach when somebody because information. Everybody has access to the same information. So
Yeah.
as you saying, if I give you this information, or this information is going through the firm, well, guess what? You at some point you got to pick it up, try to understand it. You may not be specific to it, but try to understand it and ask questions and see how it flows.
Yeah.
Because you may need to do something that helps somebody. So remember, leadership or managers or bosses or whatever, and when you put people in place, it minimizes the steps they need to get to be and do what they need to do in their professional capacity. That's the
Yeah.
purpose of having employees, right? That's the purpose of having a partner. That's the purpose of having teamwork, right? You minimize the amount of steps or actions that it takes for that person to play that position.
Yeah. Yeah. And hereby minimizes the steps that you have to take in achieving the strategic goal. Let's see, this is coming full circle.
I'm done. I'm about to drop the mic on this one.
Oh, you're saying it is, but it's true.